All right, the seventh round of talks between the farmers and the government has been called for. It'll happen on the 30th of December. All of this, viewers, in the backdrop of 6 talks failing between the government and the farmers. Now, the decision comes after Home Minister Amit Shah met Piyush Goyal to discuss the farmers' proposal for talks. Farmer unions had written to the centre on Saturday agreeing to hold talks with the centre on their 4-point agenda. The farmers are clear they want a complete rollback of laws. Meanwhile, the Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal also went to the Singhu border yesterday, appealing to the centre to repeal the new farm laws. He also attended a prayer ceremony to honour the martyrdom of the 9th Sikh Guru Tej Bahadur. I want to connect right now to my colleague Munish Pandey, who's joining us live with the latest updates from the Singhu border. Munish, what does it look like? The 7th round of talks called for on the 30th of December. 6 rounds have failed till now. The farmers adamant on a total repeal. Will they go for anything lesser in these talks, or is it all for nothing again?
Well, Preeti, there was a meeting of all the farmers union of Punjab. More than 30 farmers union met today, and what we have been given to understand is that their decision has been conveyed to Sanयुkt Kisan Morcha, and Sanयुkt Kisan Morcha will be participating in the meeting which is scheduled on December 30th. Now, what the Punjab Farmers Union have decided that there should be repeal of all the 3 farm laws, new farm laws, and until those laws are not repealed, they will not be satisfied. Their agitation will continue. So it seems that the deadlock between the farmers and the government will still going on. As far as Singhu border is concerned, more than thousands of farmers are here at this point of time. More support is pouring in from Punjab and Haryana, different parts of Punjab and Haryana. And as far as the arrangements are concerned, there are new tents which have been built up at Singhu border. So, of course, as far as farmers are concerned, they are saying that they are ready to continue their protest. But as far as the deadlock is concerned, farmers are still saying that even on the 30th, they will once again ask the government to repeal all 3 farm laws. Unless the farm laws are not repealed, they will continue their agitation.
All right, so nobody seemingly backing down right now. The government adamant will not repeal, will try and placate, will try and assuage fears. The farmers very clear, it's all or nothing. Take back all 3 farm laws, otherwise we're going to continue staying at the border protesting. Meanwhile, the Prime Minister, of course, has reached out over the past couple of days. There has been a big, massive outreach where the Prime Minister has been concerned. The Modi government today rolled out the 100th Kisan Rail from Sangola in Maharashtra to Shalimar in West Bengal. The event was held via video conferencing and with Union Minister Narendra Singh Tomar and Piyush Goyal in attendance. The multi-commodity train service will be used to transport vegetables and fruits. Speaking at the event, Prime Minister Modi said that Kisan Rail provides a cheaper means to farmers to transport perishable produce. He also said trains will give farmers an opportunity to take their produce to markets which offer a better price.
जहां तक भाड़े की बात है तो इस रूट पर रेल का माल भाड़ा ट्रक के मुकाबले वैसे भी लगभग 1700 रुपये कम है। 1700 रुपये। किसान रेल में तो सरकार 50% छूट भी दे रही है। इसका भी किसानों को लाभ हो रहा है। कई बार हम खबरें देखते हैं कि कुछ वजहों से जब टमाटर की कीमत किसी जगह पर कम हो जाती है तो किसानों का क्या हाल होता है। ये स्थिति बहुत दुखदाई होती है। किसान अपनी मेहनत को अपनी आंखों के सामने बर्बाद होते देखता है, असहाय होता है। लेकिन अब नए कृषि सुधारों के बाद, किसान रेल की सुविधा के बाद उसे एक और विकल्प मिला है। अब हमारा किसान अपनी उपज देश के उन हिस्सों तक पहुंचा सकता है जहां पर टमाटर की मांग ज्यादा है, जहां उसे बेहतर कीमत मिल सकती है।
Meanwhile, let's just shift focus in the news bulletin. India is gearing up for a massive mammoth vaccination drive. Yes, we're talking about the vaccine for coronavirus, and India is preparing for the rollout of this vaccine, which is expected in January. To assess the readiness of the planned activities, Centre has planned a mega two-day dry run, which started from today. COVID vaccine dry run is underway now in 4 states, namely Punjab, Gujarat, Assam and Andhra. As part of the drill, necessary data entries will be entered in the CoWIN app. Different teams would be allocated and arrangements would be made to ensure that there is no crowding at the vaccination centres. As part of the centre's COVID immunisation drill, the readiness of the cold storage facility and transportation arrangements would also be chalked out. After the dry run, a report will be submitted to the Union Ministry of Health.
हमारे 2 डिस्ट्रिक्टों में, एक डिस्ट्रिक्ट नवा शहर और दूसरा लुधियाना में हमारे ड्राई रन चल रहा है, तो काफ़ी अच्छा उसका रिस्पांस भी है और तकरीबन हमने काफ़ी तैयारी कर रखी है अपनी। उसके लिए आज जरा एक मॉक ड्रिल हो रही है कि कैसे कैसे वो हमारे पास सप्लाई आएगी, वो उसके बाद कैसे कैसे वैक्सीन लगाया जाएगा, कैसे उसको मैसेज दिया जाएगा कि आपका जो वैक्सीनेशन है वो आपकी इस डेट को इस समय के दौरान की जाएगी। वो सारा उसमें हमने बाकायदा ऑन रिकॉर्ड लेके आए हैं, ताकि जब हमारे पास वैक्सीन आ जाती है तो लगाने के लिए कोई हमारे को चिंता ना हो।
I tell you the procedure. Whenever a beneficiary comes, he will be given entry to the vaccination site only by seeing whether he is in the beneficiary list or not. He can show his SMS on the phone. The list will be with our security person, whosoever he is from the NSS, NCC or the police. And then thereafter he will have to wait in the waiting room, from where he will be proceeding to the vaccinator room. In the vaccinator room, he will again be basically, it will be seen that this is the same person by comparing any photo ID, may it be Aadhaar, may it be PAN card, may it be license or government ID also. So after that he will be given vaccination, and there only he will be entered on this CoWIN app that he has been vaccinated. Then he will be shifted to the observation room. In the observation room he will be there for 30 minutes, and during that 30 minutes he will be observed if he is not having any side effects of the vaccine. After 13 minutes he is free to move about.
A vaccine dry run that is being done in Krishna district. It is a this process dry run started yesterday, and on day 1 we had all logistics issues, preparatory issues we did. We had prepared all 5 session sites where all the beneficiaries would be brought for vaccination, and we had also entered the details and mapped them to respective sites.
All right, let's move on now in the news bulletin. Massive political controversy yet again on the whereabouts of Rahul Gandhi. Well, the Congress party today celebrated its 136th foundation day. Priyanka Gandhi evaded questions on the absence of party MP Rahul Gandhi, who left abroad for Milan on Sunday for a personal visit a day before Foundation Day. Senior party leader A.K. Antony hoisted the Congress flag at the party headquarters in Rahul's absence. Though the Congress did not disclose Rahul Gandhi's destination, party's chief spokesperson Randeep Surjewala confirmed that Rahul will be away for a few days. Sources, however, say that Rahul left for Milan in Italy on a Qatar Airways flight in the morning. His grandmother stays in Italy and he has visited her earlier too.
राहुल जी नहीं आ, राहुल गांधी नहीं आती हूँ। सत्तक राहुल जी नहीं आ, राहुल गांधी नहीं आती हूँ। सत्तक
गुजरात में कांग्रेस को 0 सीट प्राप्त हुए। उत्तर प्रदेश में कांग्रेस को 0 सीट प्राप्त हुए। मणिपुर में कांग्रेस को 0 सीट प्राप्त हुए। कर्नाटक में कांग्रेस को 0 सीट प्राप्त हुए। तेलंगाना में कांग्रेस को 0 सीट प्राप्त हुए। फिर और कुछ कहना बाकी रहा?
देखिए, राहुल जी के बारे में जितना ना कहा जाए उतना ही अच्छा है। वो क्या करते हैं, क्या नहीं करते, उसकी क्या युक्ति होती है, क्या सोच के करते हैं, समझना बड़ा मुश्किल है। बड़े गूढ़ हैं। स्थापना दिवस है, वो बाहर हैं, वहाँ से वो ट्वीट करके अपनी पार्टी के स्थापना दिवस पे उनको बधाई दे रहे हैं। तो इसमें क्या उनके दिमाग में चलता है, ये हमारे लिए तो अंदाज़ा लगाना बड़ा मुश्किल है।
नहीं, नानी को देखने के लिए जा सकते हैं, वो आराम से जाए, लेकिन देश के किसान को गुमराह नहीं करे। जैसा कि उन्होंने कल भी ट्वीट करके वहाँ बैठे बैठे ही किसान को भ्रमित करने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं, किसान को भड़काने का प्रयास कर रहे हैं, वो काम करे। बाकी नानी को देखने जाए, चाहे मामा जी को देखने जाए, किसी को भी देखने की जाने की आजादी है।
अपने परिवार के एक सदस्य को जो गंभीर रूप से बीमार हैं, उनसे मिलने गए हैं। वो ना किसी छुट्टी पर गए हैं और ना कहीं और अपने परिवार की दूसरी सदस्य जो सबसे बड़ी हैं, उनकी नानी, वो साल के अंत में उनसे भी मिलने गए हैं।
कांग्रेस का स्थापना दिवस 136 साल से चल रहा है, चलते रहेगा। बीच में कोई प्रेजेंट रहता है, कोई एब्सेंट रहता है, वो बड़ी बात नहीं है। आज सबसे बड़ी बात है कि कांग्रेस का 136वां स्थापना दिवस है और कांग्रेस के लिए और देश के लिए ये दिवस बहुत महत्वपूर्ण।
I'm amazed at how interested BJP is in our leader. They seem to be following him step by step. Now, if they follow him by step, why don't they accept his views then? If they're so deeply interested in him, why don't they just accept his views and follow him as a leader? I can't understand writing a script for a person and saying, this is what we expect you to do, this is what we expect you to do. It's not the way the world works. There are people who have priorities. There are important events and important matters that come up, personal or otherwise.
We are a democratic party. This is the difference between us and the BJP, that we can express ourselves and we discuss issues. How to meet the present challenges. We are not a party in denial. Yes, we have challenges. We have lost in many states. Therefore, how to strengthen the party? How to revamp the organization? Organization is not only Delhi or the central leadership. Organization is the block committees, the elected district Congress committees, the Pradesh Congress committees, the frontal organizations. That is what is important for us before we start an intense mass contact program.
All right, let's shift focus back to the national capital. The Prime Minister today inaugurated what is a driverless metro line on the Magenta line. Well, the Prime Minister today said that this was the first in India to have a driverless train. He inaugurated it today and further said that urbanization should be considered as an opportunity to fulfill the goal of ease of living. The first driverless train will roll out on the 37-kilometer line, Magenta line of the Delhi Metro. The driverless train will be fully automated, hence eliminating any possibility of human error. Prime Minister Modi also launched the National Common Mobility Card, an interoperable transport facility that allows users to pay for travel, toll duties, retail shopping and withdraw money using one card. The National Common Mobility Card service will allow anyone carrying a RuPay debit issue from any part of the country to travel on the route using it. It will be inaugurated from the Airport Express line and will be available across the Delhi Metro service by 2022.
अभी मुझे बिना ड्राइवर के चलने वाली मेट्रो रेल का उद्घाटन करने का अवसर मिला है। आज इस उपलब्धि के साथ ही हमारा देश दुनिया के उन चुनिंदा देशों में शामिल हो गया है जहां इस तरह की सुविधा है। हम ऐसे ब्रेकिंग सिस्टम के भी प्रयोग कर रहे हैं जिनमें ब्रेक लगाने पर 50% ऊर्जा वापस ग्रिड में चली जाती है। आज मेट्रो रेल में 130 मेगावाट सोलर पावर का इस्तेमाल किया जा रहा है, जिसे बढ़कर 600 मेगावाट तक ले जाने का इरादा है। आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस उसका उपयोग करते हुए आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस लेस प्लेटफॉर्म और स्क्रीनिंग दरवाजे, इन आधुनिक तकनीकों पर भी काम तेजी से चल रहा है।
This is a historic metro rail ride because this is driverless. You can see behind me, all you see is no driver, just me out here. And there you have it, the metro stopping on its own at the metro station. This is headed towards Janakpuri West from Botanical Garden, and this is where the difference really is. India joins ranks of very few countries who now have an automated system. Now let me just try and show you. There is no attendant out here, but one attendant will be kept here. This is in the UTO mode, which is the unattended driver mode. And this is where this entire system works on its own. There is no human intervention. It's totally contactless. What happens is that this contact, control and command is way back behind. That is a back-end control. This entire metro has a pre-fed system. That is a wake-up call which is given to the metro, which then comes on its own to the metro station. It also has a sleep mode when it has to retire for the night. But meanwhile, the pre-fed system will ensure that this stops at all metro stations subsequently, opens up for a small specific period of time, and then closes on its own. Now, many will say, what are the safety aspects? If there is nobody to monitor, these have high digital, high-resolution cameras. That is where the sight of the metro going ahead is telecast right back there. What is happening inside the metro is also being relayed by the cameras.
All right, let's shift focus right now to cricket and specifically to Virat Kohli. Well, Virat Kohli is in for another big honour. Well, exactly talking, Virat Kohli has bagged the Sir Garfield Sobers Award for ICC Male Cricketer of the Decade. The Indian skipper, who is on paternity leave after the first test in Australia, was named as the ICC ODI Player of the Decade. Kohli also found a place in ICC's Team of the Decade in all the formats. Virat, who has dominated the batting charts in the last decade and scored the most runs in the ICC award period, which was 20,396. The right-hander scored 6,694 half-centuries during this given time. Former Indian captain Mahendra Singh Dhoni won the ICC Spirit of Cricket Award for the decade. The former Indian captain was chosen by fans unanimously for his gesture of calling back England batsman Ian Bell after a bizarre run-out on the Nottingham Test in 2011.
Well, firstly, it's a great honor for me to receive this award. The moments that I hold the closest to my heart in the last decade definitely has to be the World Cup win in 2011, the Champions Trophy win in 2013, and winning the series in Australia in 2018 are the three moments that I hold very dearly in my heart. But apart from that, also I think there have been very special games for Team India over the last decade, and for me personally as well. I wouldn't like to mention the personal knocks so much, because then I'll have to rate them, and I don't like doing that, because for me every game played for India is as important and as crucial. So it's just been an honor for me to be able to go out there and perform for my team, for my country, and yeah, it's a great honor for me to win this.
Welcome back. You're watching our Fact Check segment, where we bust certain claims masquerading to be facts on social media platforms and WhatsApp groups. Now, there is an image which is floating about suggesting that the Prime Minister posed for a picture with the PMO staff members. Well, the fact is, this viral image is true, but it's all the way back in 2014. Nothing to do with 2020. With that fact check, it's a wrap on this edition of 7 at 7, but do stay tuned. Up next is To The Point. Hi everyone, Preeti Chaudhary here. Hope you like this video. For latest news and analysis, like and subscribe to the India Today YouTube channel. And don't forget to press the bell icon to stay updated. Thank you for watching.